Okay guys, so let me show you how we can take all our unlisted and then so we basically add item to Hexalister, fully optimize them all, meaning the description title looks good and the price is set, and then we can actually multi-listing, right, to Facebook Marketplace. So currently we actually, when we add an item as an unlisted, we just select them and then we just click on order list. So we select each one of them and order list, and then we'll populate all this data and create a listing on Facebook Marketplace. And at the same time, we also grab the listing URL for you as well on the creation of your listing. Now we can actually, instead of doing one by one, we can actually take all of them and then create a draft, and then from there we can order list each one of them at that draft window. One by one, and then we publish all at once. Okay, so let me show you. So the only thing we can do now is only under the unlisted status and the archive status. Okay, that's the only two status that I'm reading to create drafts in Facebook Marketplace. Okay, however, if you do have a listing that is in listed status, you can actually move them to the archive. Okay, let me do that. So I just changed it, the status, and hit save. So now we have two archive and two listed. So the listed does not go into the draft, okay, only the unlisted. So let me open up eBay real quick. So I'm going to pick this item real quick here, and I'm going to add to Hexalister and optimize them real quick. So let me add to Hexalister, open Hexalister, select the item, edit the description. You see a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to get rid of all this stuff here, about right here. Delete all that. Don't put too much stuff. Okay, we can get rid of all this. Make sure it looks clean, right? Okay, I'm going to hit save. You can change the description, move it around. You can actually click on this rotation button here. What it does is kind of rotate through it, make it a little different, right? Okay, it doesn't have to be read in grammar way, right? So hit save right there, and then you can set your price, 44 bucks. Okay, you can reduce this to 149, make about 34 bucks, or even 139.99. Okay, 25, and hit save. So I have one unlisted and then three archive. Okay, two archive, so there's a total of three. Okay, so if we click on this button right here, we should have three items, right? Because that's the only status I'm looking to bring into a draft. Okay, so let's click on this button and start the process. So it opens up this. You click on add manual listing right here. It knows exactly how many we have total, right? But on the drop down, I also bring those three over as well. Okay, so just let it default to the first one, select the first one, and then this lights up, right? Step one. Then you click on that. When you click on that, it's begin to order list, right? That's pretty weird. It took a little bit longer. So what we have to do when we come here, so you have to wait, okay? Wait until it pops up, and then you click on this button here, okay? Because this is step two. So it begins to populate the second session of it, okay? So let's see what it does. So I put Los Angeles, okay? Looks good, and it's done, okay? I put the location, but for some reason the picture is not loading up, okay? Or it does, okay? So let's remove that. Let's select it. You see how I select that, okay? And let's remove that so we can rearrange this. Scroll down to make sure everything looks good, right? Okay. Locations for some reason is missing. So let's put LOS real quick again. Okay. So you have to kind of fix it if you have to. Okay. And then go to the next page. Populate everything correctly. And let's click inside. Make sure, right? Okay. This 15 come from for this particular item. It's in the unlisted. That's the $15. And then I immediately also put $15 here as well for you. because if you don't fill anything in here, that means that if they buy a second one, 2 items have the total shipping cost as 15. So I populate this as well immediately. So make sure if there's a 0, make sure you either match it with your current shipping rate or low a little bit, right, for a discount. Okay, since they're buying 2 additional items, right? So make sure you check that for me. Now it's complete now, right? Okay, and I would hit done, and I will select the second one. Now you pay attention to the right side, ready to publish. Okay, select the second one, it default to the second one. Okay, click on paste listing. So there's an issue, just fix it. If it's red, fix it for me. Okay, it's very quick, and now it pops up. And then the second button here would be turn on. Then you click on that, and it will populate everything for you again. Okay. Now, if somehow this does not pop up, I want you to come in here and fill all the information for me. Okay. So when it's done that, okay, what I want you to do, I want you to revisit real quick by clicking on it. Double check. You can move things around. Okay. Make sure everything looks good. Okay. Location again. This is weird. And if you click on add shipping, okay, it's not popping up here for some reason. It did fill up everything, but put LOS real quick. I don't know why they have 2 locations on 2 different pages. And make sure you Los Angeles. Make sure you go in here and make sure it's correct. And you can even go to previous, and the location is there now. Everything looks good. Just hit done. Let's do one more. Okay. Click on this again, and then click on step 1. You don't touch anything on this process, okay? Just let it do its work. And when it's done, it goes to the second page. Click on step 2. See, it's filled Los Angeles there. And then when it's done, okay, pay attention to this. Invalid location for some reason, right? Okay, so it's complaint. So let's click on that. And you might have to delete some of these bad ones, okay, because you have too many photos in here for some reason. Okay. Okay, so fix that if there's an issue. Scroll down. Los Angeles. For some reason it's not populating. Very weird. Add shipping. Everything looks good. Go in here and double check. 77, yeah. And now it's done. Ready to publish. When I click on that, okay, and everything is done, you do one by one rather than order listing, right? One by one. What you need to do is you're gonna select them all, okay? And you publish them, okay? Let's say publish 3 listing. When you click on that, now when I click on that, let's say active, okay? When it's active, what I want you to do after this is supposed to bring you to the listing page, right? And it didn't do it. It just say done, active. Just click on this icon here, tag icon. Say leave. And voila, there they are, okay? So these are the draft. Make sure you delete the one that you messed up, okay? Because sometimes when you create a draft and you do a refresh on that page, it creates immediately here, and you don't want that, okay? So either the best way, never refresh, just close it out, the tab, okay? Now one thing that you guys need to do is that each of the listing has a new listing URL, but I'm not grabbing it during the draft mode. So what you can do, go to view listing, right? Refresh this page real quick. Now this right here, as you can see, that's the name, right? You can copy the name right here, open Excel lister, and do a search on it, right? Okay, it's in the archive one. Select that. So what I need to do is we need to bring all the archive back to listed when we are done, okay? So go to your archive right here, and these are 2 archives. So I'm going to back to listed because they were listed. We just need a way to actually push them to draft, right? So we change all the listed status to archive. And when we're done with listing on Facebook Marketplace, just what we just did, we want to move them back. So the way you do it, you just click on listed, go back to listed, and all of them are back here now. Okay, let's search for that one that we just create, right? Now they don't have a listing URL right there, okay? So what you can do is that I'm opening up the listing page that we just got published, and they create a new listing URL for us. Just click on this button right here and hit save. So now they're linked, right? I have an eBay seller, eBay listing that's linked to the actual listing that we just published. Let's do one more, okay? So let's go back to the listing. So all the draft that we create, all that is being approved, okay? Let's go to this one, okay? View listing, okay? And let's refresh if you want. You can leave it like that, okay? Open Hexalister, and let's find that item. Clear the search. This is the item. Select that. Just pick it and hit save, okay? Now they're linked now, okay? Let's do one more. This is the one. So view. What you can do if you have many listing, you can always do a search, right? Like that. Look. There it is. Pick it. Okay. It's going to take that listing URL and put it right here and hit save. So now the process complete. Right. Now, if you want to check to see which one you have not pushed to Facebook Marketplace, I do have a filter up here. No Facebook Marketplace URL. So there are two, see? And these you can actually send it to Facebook Marketplace, both of them in draft. But what you need to do first is change them to archive. Hit save. Change this guy and go back to listed. Change this guy to archive as well and hit save. So we don't have any unlisted, right? So it's only two archives. So if we click on this button right here, right, for multiple draft listing, how many would there be there from the drop down? There should be only two, right? So when I click on that, click on add manual listing. It says two because it's reading from the unlisted status. There are no unlisted. It reads from the archive status. There's two. And then from this drop down, these are the two.